Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Thriving in Love podcast, the podcast that challenges the status quo so couples can thrive as their most authentic selves. If this is your first time tuning into my channel, hello, I am Sana. I am a feminine energy embodiment mentor, and I am also the co-founder of Growth Club, which is a conscious community here in LA. And I talk all about love. And the reason I am so obsessed with love is because when I got married, I thought I was going to live happily ever after, and my husband was going to save me from my trauma and my troubled childhood, and we were going to create a life full of peace and ease and joy. What I didn't know at the time was that you don't just get married and then enter this paradise of bliss. There is a journey. So today's episode, I want to talk about the new paradigm of love. All the things that society tries to tell us about love, but the actual truth of what is love and how do we get to bliss in our long-term relationships. So let's get started. In today's society, girls grow up thinking that love is supposed to be easy and it's supposed to just flow. The unfortunate truth is that love is actually the greatest spiritual dojo for your soul's evolution. So if you're into spirituality at all, or if you're into personal growth or development or energy or any of those things, you are on a journey of growth and evolution. The reason so many relationships today don't work out or end in divorce is because people think that the minute things go south or the minute you have disconnection or you're not feeling connected, it's a sign that you're not in love anymore. Or the minute that you don't have a sexual desire for your partner anymore, then you must end that relationship and move on to another partner where that emotional and sexual connection is at its all-time high. There are 5 stages of long-term relationships. Unfortunately, people want to go from the honeymoon stage to bliss after the wedding. What Disney didn't tell us is that when they said, and they lived happily ever after falling in love and getting married, they didn't show us what happened after the happily ever after. So I know a lot of people like to blame fairy tales and Disney for the reason that they are disappointed in love. But the truth is that fairy tales and Disney are not that far off. When you finally meet somebody who is meant for you, you do have a whirlwind romance. My husband and I were completely in a love bubble when we first met. And then when we got married the night before our wedding, my grandmother went into a cardiac arrest. So that love bubble popped immediately. And our first year of marriage was extremely hard, and we were questioning, did we make the greatest mistake? Because I didn't have the awareness of what was actually happening. What was actually happening was that we were moving from our honeymoon stage into the power struggle phase. So what exactly is the power struggle phase? The power struggle phase is when you're not consciously aware of your patterns, your behaviors, and how the person is triggering you. You're getting triggered and you're blaming the person for triggering you. You are feeling insecure and you're wanting your partner to fix you. You're feeling lonely and you're using your partner as a clutch to heal you. Even if you don't identify as somebody in a codependent relationship, the power struggle is a codependent dynamic because you're relying on the other person to make you feel better. You're relying on the other person to make you feel more whole. And instead, what happens is you move from the power struggle into stability when you wake up and you have that awareness that, oh, I'm actually in charge of my own emotions. Oh, I'm actually in charge of processing all of these complicated emotions and complicated thoughts that are ruminating inside of me so that I can have the awareness and the understanding of what is actually happening so that I can communicate with my partner with confidence, with clarity, and actually connect. So when you're stuck in the power struggle phase, you're probably feeling really, really disconnected. And what I want to invite you into is really sitting with all of the uncomfortable truths that you're too afraid to look at. The uncomfortable truth that maybe I am demanding too much from my partner, but not because I'm not worthy of it, but because I am expecting one person to fulfill all of my needs. When instead, maybe it's time to seek help, or maybe it's time to really tune within. So maybe it's time to hire a coach or go to therapy or pick up a hobby or join a community or do something that is outside of your normal routine so that you can start to begin shifting this vicious cycle that so many people fall into. So many people think that, oh, if I just break up with this person and find another relationship, then everything's going to be okay. That happens when you are blaming that person for all the things that you don't like in them. And a lot of women that I talk to are like, oh, he drinks a lot. He doesn't have a good routine. He's not ambitious enough. He's not in his power. The new paradigm of love is teaching us that what you see in your partner is a direct reflection of what needs to be looked at within you. I know that's hard to hear. I'm not sitting here saying that it is an exact mirror in terms of, oh, if he isn't meditating every day, that means that you should be meditating every day. You probably already are meditating every day and you're judging him for not meditating every day. So what is that judgment actually asking you to look at? Maybe it's asking you to look at the ways that you shame yourself every time you don't meditate every day. And you set these standards for yourself at the expense of what your innate inner child is desiring. Our inner child is our soul. It is the energy of God consciousness that wants to be expressed through your authentic self. So the more we honor what our inner child authentically wants without shame, without guilt, without fear, the more we accept our mistakes, our darkness, our anger, our rage, all the ways that we want to express. And the more you create space for your own self to be fully in the expression of your inner child's joy, anger, sadness, grief, that's shadow work. And the more you accept it in yourself and create space for yourself to fully feel and fully express, the easier it becomes to see somebody else's flaws and love them. And instead of judging them for not meditating every day, you get to see the quirks about them that you find so endearing that made you fall in love in the first place. When you start to nitpick and break down your partner's imperfections, where does the love go? And that love goes where it needs to be reflected into you. So you fall in love, you have your honeymoon phase where they can do no wrong. And then the minute that bubble pops, you start to see all of the ways that they are imperfect. And that is divinely sent to you from above. All of their imperfections. What women fall into in that moment sometimes is thinking that they have to heal their partner. Thinking that you have to help, guide, mentor, coach, be their therapist, hold space for their emotions, fall into these codependent habits. But that's not your job. Your job as his wife, partner, whatever, is to see them as a cosmic mirror, reflecting back to you. Where are you judging them? And where can you have more love for yourself? And then in return, have more love for them. It's that ebb and flow of love. How does love want to flow between two completely different and yet so compatibly in love people? And I know this is so hard to hear for so many of us because we think, no, this is a unique situation for me. She doesn't know what she's talking about. My husband is just the messiest guy. How can I see that as something to learn from? Where in your life can you open your heart more? What is unity consciousness? Seeing us as one. And then how does that express itself in actuality? By looking at anything and everything outside of you as a reflection of more self-discovery, more understanding, more letting go, more surrendering, more connecting, more expressing, more creating. The new paradigm of love is no longer thinking that if I just break up with this person, I'll go find something better. It is looking at at the person that is in front of you here and now as a divine gift, as imperfect and as annoying as they are. Looking at all of that and beginning your own shadow work. Seeing how are you playing a role in this dynamic. Holding yourself accountable when you are finding yourself in a place of being high and mighty, wanting to change and heal somebody else, instead of understanding the truth that even if you are a healer, you cannot heal anybody else but yourself. And when you embody true healing in your own self, you inspire others to shift and rise. So whatever you see in somebody else, as annoying, as frustrating, as the worst thing in the world, that is a mirror asking you to heal deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper within. And as you do, the more you accept, the more that you love, the more grace that you have for yourself, the more you shift your negative self-talk, the more you fully accept yourself as you are here and now, the easier it becomes to accept them in all of their imperfections. And then you move into the stability phase of, okay, I understand the assignment and I get to work. I process my own emotions fully and completely, and I get the lesson. And then I speak with clarity, with confidence. I let go of control, and I sit in the knowing of what I desire is going to come because it's already mine. And the more that I do the inner work, the more I tap into love and joy, the more I alchemize my shadows into light, I'm getting closer and closer to all of my desires. And once you commit to that, you get to commit to the partner of your own conscious choice. And instead of calling someone your twin flame and your soulmate and your guys are energetically connected, you finally break free of that codependency and realize that the whole world is your mirror. It's not just that one person. And you get to choose who you see as a cosmic mirror for you. Whose vessel do you want to enjoy life with? And you let the pressure go of this like perfect one person for you. And you see the world as an unlimited possibility of who do you choose? And then you commit to that vessel, that person. You move from stability into commitment. I consciously choose you in your imperfections and all. Let's go, let's build, let's co-create. Tell me about your dreams, tell me about your visions, and I'm going to tell you about mine. And we may be here and here, and we're going to find our way into alignment. And then we're going to reach the final stage of bliss. So if you're interested in learning more about the new paradigm of love and to going through these waves and ebbs and flows to land at a place of deep connection and harmony and intimacy and joy and just pleasure, hit subscribe, hit like, and hit the bell button because then you'll get alerts of every time I post a video on this topic. I am so ready to help women find such deep self-love so that they can begin the journey of healthy love. And when you have deep, deep self-love, you no longer attract narcissistic men. And then it makes this journey easier and easier. I do not vouch for unhealthy relationships. If there is abuse, if there is disrespect, if there is name calling, if there is just toxic behavior, then you still need to do self-work, inner work, self-love work before getting into a relationship. But if you're attracting men that seem to be so great, but just have a couple quirks about them that irk you, it's an invitation to open your heart and go on this journey into this new paradigm of love. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. And I hope you can walk away with a couple nuggets from this video, and I'll see you next time.